1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's check it out. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Movies and Beyond. Once again, I am Michael, and today we are going to watch the trailer for 1984's original A Nightmare on Elm Street. I also want to talk about this movie a little bit after the trailer. This is definitely one of the classics. To me, this is the movie that put Freddy on the map. So we'll talk about it a little more after the trailer. So let's go ahead and get right to it.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
You could just see cuts happening.
What did that, Lieutenant?
I don't know.
Tina!
What's the coroner got to say?
He's in the jar and puking since he saw it.
They're gonna kill me for sure.
Did you do it?
There was somebody else there.
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and came out in a rubber bag.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
No.
Whatever.
Young Johnny Depp.
Don't fall asleep.
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
no one will survive. From Wes Craven.
So that was the trailer for the original A Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember seeing this movie as a kid. Just like Halloween, I was probably way too young to be watching this movie, but back in the 80s, that's kind of what we did. That was what all the kids were doing. It was staying up late on Friday and Saturday nights and watching the Nightmare on Elm Streets, the Friday the 13th, the Halloweens. That was just a part of what we did as kids, and it's the reason why I'm a horror movie fan today. As for this movie, in my honest opinion, I feel like this is the best of the franchise. It's comparable with The Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which was also a really good movie, but there's something about the original. To me, it falls in line with Halloween, the first Halloween being the best, and the sequel was really good, but not as good as the original. That's how I feel about A Nightmare on Elm Street. I feel like the sequel was decent, and I'll probably do a little video on A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 down the line, but as far as A Nightmare on Elm Street 1, this movie did a lot of good things. It focused on a lot of things that scared people at that time. If you really look at this movie and you think about it, it focuses on being attacked or being killed when you were at your most vulnerable. So when you go to sleep, everybody has to sleep. You know, you're in your bed, you're sleeping, you're vulnerable. And I think that's one of the things that made this movie so good was you could relate with the people going to sleep just knowing that you were in a vulnerable situation. As for Robert Englund, he did fantastic as Freddy. The supporting actors in the movie, they did great. We got to see a young Johnny Depp. Nancy was good. Johnny Depp's character, though, if you look at this movie, there were a couple times where his character failed this movie miserably. Glenn, you had one job, and it was to stay awake. And you failed miserably. I always enjoyed this film very much. And like I was saying before, definitely a great horror movie for its time. If I had to rank this movie, I would say it's definitely on my top 5 list of best 80s horror movies, or best slasher type movies in general. It's definitely in my top 5. Another thing that I always remembered about this movie was Nancy setting up all those MacGyver-style traps on how she was putting things together in almost a Wile E. Coyote fashion for when Freddy came through the dream with her. I always thought that was kind of funny, but again, this movie, to me, ranks up there with all the great ones and definitely put Freddy on the map to being in the big three. Big three being Michael, Jason, Freddy. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.